Hey there, I'm Dr. Mia Grant, and if you want to become a lover who can give a woman mind-melting, body-shaking orgasms, you need to master one oral sex technique almost no man knows. In this video, I'll break down the three-step approach that builds anticipation, drives her wild, and creates an experience she'll never forget. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to set up the perfect positions for comfort and endurance, the step-by-step oral technique that combines rhythm, touch, and pressure, how to use the start-stop method to produce the most intense climaxes. Stay with me. This is about more than tricks. It's about rhythm, patience, and connection that leaves her breathless and craving more. Okay, let's talk about consent. But not just the yes or no. We're talking about asking in a way that gets her excited. Imagine whispering something like, "Do you want me to taste you?" in a low, sensual tone. Consent isn't just legal, it turns her on by creating anticipation. That kind of ask isn't just about approval. It's about inviting her into the moment in a way that makes her feel desired and safe. Check-ins throughout the experience are key. You're not just waiting for her to tell you, you're making her feel heard. Softer or firmer here? You're building that trust, keeping her relaxed, and showing her that you're attuned to her every need. It's the emotional bond that makes physical connection so much hotter. Comfort comes first for both of you. If you're uncomfortable, you won't last, and neither will she. So get her comfortable. Pillows under her hips are a must. This tilts the pelvis, making her more responsive and giving you better access. And while she's getting more comfortable, make sure you are too. Knees wide and relaxed. If your body's stiff, your rhythm will be too. Your position needs to be perfect, so you can keep your jaw and neck relaxed. If you're straining, the pleasure drops. Keep your shoulders loose and check your breathing. Breathe through your nose so you can stay in the moment. It's about sustainability. You can't rush oral sex. It's a slow climb. The more relaxed you are, the better the flow, and the more enjoyable it is for both of you. Okay, now let's talk about building anticipation. This is where the magic happens. Great oral sex isn't about rushing to get to the finish line. It's about teasing and building pleasure slowly. Start with soft, slow kisses on her inner thighs. Yeah, this area is full of nerve endings, and most guys skip it. But trust me, it's a goldmine for turning her on. Go in, then pull back, giving her time to feel the heat. The next step? Gradual touches. When you approach her vulva, don't dive straight into the clitoris. Begin with gentle strokes using the tip of your tongue on the outer labia. Take your time. Move slow, like you're savoring every moment. This builds the tension in her body, and she'll be craving more. It's not about rushing. It's about making her wait for the pleasure, creating that perfect tension. The slower you go, the more pleasurable it becomes. Keep teasing. Keep her on the edge, and let her feel the pleasure growing. All right, now that you've got her in the groove, consistency is everything. Don't be tempted to change the rhythm just because you think it's time to speed up. The most important thing is to keep the pace steady. If you find a rhythm that makes her hips lift or her breath catch, stay with it. It's all about repetition. When you keep that rhythm consistent, you build a deeper connection and more intense arousal. Keep your tongue light at first, just tracing slow, deliberate movements. As she responds, you can adjust, but don't jump to something completely different. The key is to build pleasure slowly, giving her body time to accept the sensations and feel them more deeply. Switching things up too often can reset her arousal. Stay present, stay engaged, and keep your movements smooth and steady. Once you've found what works, stick with it. Consistency will take her closer to that mind-blowing orgasm. All right, now we're getting into the real magic. The start-stop method, also known as edging. This is a game changer when it comes to creating mind-blowing orgasms. You're going to bring her to the edge and then stop, just before she crosses that point. Let her feel the tension build for a few seconds, then back off. This pause makes her desire more, and trust me, when you go back to that same rhythm, she's going to explode. It's all about timing and patience. You'll know she's getting close when you see her body responding. louder moans, quicker breathing, and her hips lifting. When you feel her almost there, keep your movements consistent, then ease off gently. Let her catch her breath, then build again. The pleasure will compound each time. You'll take her to the brink, and then bring her back, building the intensity each cycle. Repeat this 2 or 3 times, and by the final round, when you stay steady and let her finish, you'll get that intense release she's been craving. This technique isn't just about physical pleasure. It's about control, patience, and making her feel truly desired. All right, let's get into positioning. This is where things start to get hot. A slight tilt of her pelvis can do wonders. Tilting her hips, just a bit, can increase sensitivity and blood flow, making her more responsive. It's all about the angle. When she's tilted like that, you're perfectly positioned to tease and touch her in all the right ways. Her body will feel more sensitive, and you'll have better access. Now make sure she's comfortable. Get her to open her knees wide. This not only gives you better access, but it increases sensation all around. The inner thighs become more exposed, and that's prime territory for some slow teasing strokes. The goal here is to slowly build her pleasure, not rush into it. Now let's talk about your comfort. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to last long, and she won't feel the full pleasure. So, arrange yourself in a position that feels good. A pillow under your knees can take some pressure off and make things more relaxed for you. You don't want to be straining your neck or shoulders. That will only make things awkward. You also want to make sure your body's positioned right, so you can maintain the rhythm. Sitting on a chair or side of the bed position can work wonders, especially if you need a little more support. When you're comfortable, the rhythm flows effortlessly. This is crucial for stamina. The longer you can go, the more intense the experience becomes. Okay, here's the fun part. The exploration. When you've got her positioned just right, you can start exploring erogenous zones beyond just the clitoris. Sure, the clitoris gets the spotlight, but there's so much more to pleasure. The inner thighs and labia are key areas that are often overlooked. Start slow. Tease her with light kisses and soft strokes along her inner thighs. As you get closer to the vulva, you can gently trace the labia with your tongue. The idea here is to gradually build arousal without rushing to the main event. These areas respond beautifully to slow, deliberate touches, and you'll be amazed at how much pleasure you can bring her by simply focusing on these often neglected zones. Now let's be clear. Oral sex isn't mechanical. It's an art. It's all about teasing and creating that steady, sensual rhythm. It's not about rushing straight to the clitoris and getting it over with. Think of this as orchestration, not just an action. You're crafting a melody of sensation, starting slow and building with each movement. As you work your way down her body, make each touch intentional. Play with pressure, alternate between light and heavier strokes, and pay attention to how her body responds. The key here is to build arousal gradually, letting her body catch up to the pleasure. By taking your time, you ensure the experience is sensual and not just mechanical. Finally, after you've spent time building the anticipation and exploring, unlock her full sensitivity. The more responsive she becomes, the more you can adjust the pressure and rhythm to meet her needs. Focus on the areas that make her sensitive, and be mindful of how she's reacting. Gradually increase your pace and pressure, but never forget to keep things smooth and consistent. When you've got her to the point of no return, you'll know. And this is when you can focus all that built-up energy on bringing her to the peak of pleasure. Stay focused, stay present, and let the rhythm lead the way. All right, let's get one thing straight. Patience is key. A lot of guys think they can rush straight into the action, but trust me, most women need about 10 to 15 minutes of oral stimulation to climax. So, don't rush. Start with slow kisses and soft, playful nibbles on her inner thighs. That's where the magic begins. The skin here is packed with nerve endings that beg for attention. It's all about gradual progression. Move from the thighs, in closer, slowly building the tension. You want her to feel every bit of the build-up. Get her body in sync with yours, and you'll notice the difference. She'll start to melt under your touch. Take your time and let her anticipation grow. The longer you tease, the harder she'll climax when you finally go for it. Now let's talk about the tip of your tongue. When you're close to the vulva, use the tip of your tongue to trace slow strokes from bottom to top. Take it slow, like you're savoring every inch of her. Keep your movements gentle at first, counting out 4 to 5 beats per stroke. The idea here is to ease into the sensation. The slower, the better. This will make her body crave more with each stroke. Don't rush into anything too intense. Teasing is the name of the game. The tip of your tongue is softer, and that's exactly what she needs as you get closer to her clitoris. Gradually increase the pressure and length of your strokes as she responds, but always keep the rhythm smooth and predictable. By now you should be feeling her body respond. Her breathing will shift, and you'll notice subtle cues, hips lifting, soft moans, even a slight clenching. That's when you know you're on the right track. Okay, here's a crucial tip. Don't just jump straight to the clitoris. Work around the clitoral hood first. Most women prefer gradual exposure and sensitivity, so start there. Use your tongue to circle the hood, getting her more accustomed to the sensation. You can alternate between gentle flicks and slow, deliberate movements to build her arousal. The key here is patience. Don't rush. She'll feel more comfortable with each touch, and that builds anticipation. As you work around the hood, pay attention to how her body is responding. Watch for subtle changes. Her hips may begin to lift slightly, or her breath might quicken. These are signs you're getting it right. Slowly increase the pressure, but keep the rhythm consistent. Remember, slow and steady with lots of variation. You're creating tension and building the ultimate pleasure, and every small step brings her closer to the climax. Here's where many men get it wrong. Once you've found a rhythm that works, stick with it. If she starts to move with you, keep going. Changing rhythm just when she's about to climax can reset her arousal, so don't be tempted to switch things up. Consistency is everything. You'll notice she'll start to respond more to your movements. Her hips may lift, she'll breathe faster, and those soft moans will become louder. That's when you know you're in the sweet spot. Keep it smooth and steady, and the pleasure will build naturally. Don't get frustrated if it takes a little time. Great oral sex isn't about rushing, it's about maintaining the rhythm. As her arousal deepens, gradually increase the pressure and pace, but keep everything flowing at the right tempo. The goal is building and maintaining that momentum until she's on the edge of release. As you get into the rhythm, watch her body closely. Follow her cues, her breath, her body movements, and her sounds. When you notice her getting close, increase the pressure and pace slightly, but keep it smooth. If she starts to lift her hips, that's your cue to go a little harder. If she's moving away, ease up and focus on gentle strokes until she's ready again. Suction can be another great addition when you notice her body warming up to it. Light suction on the clitoral hood or outer labia adds an extra layer of pleasure and increases the intensity. But don't overdo it. The trick is to add it in slowly, gradually intensifying as her body demands it. The key is to always stay connected, observing her responses and adjusting your movements accordingly. When you find that sweet spot, it's just a matter of staying consistent and bringing her all the way to climax. Okay, here's where things get really intense. The start-stop method, or edging, is all about control and anticipation. Instead of pushing straight to climax, you pause just before she reaches the peak. Yeah, this might sound tricky, but it's super effective. That brief pause, usually 20-30 seconds, lets her body settle while keeping the arousal high. During the pause, you don't stop connecting. You can kiss her inner thighs, lightly stroke her lower belly, or whisper something intimate. Even a few words like, "Yeah, you feel amazing," can keep the excitement building. This isn't just teasing, it's about compounding arousal, so that when you resume, her pleasure is intensified. All right, here's the fun part. Repeating cycles. After the pause, go back to the exact same rhythm and pressure that brought her to the edge. This is where it gets crazy intense. Doing this 2 to 3 times compounds arousal like nothing else. Yeah, her body starts to tremble, hips pulse involuntarily, and you'll notice deep exhalations as her body responds. The key is consistency. Don't switch patterns mid-cycle. Her body learns the rhythm, Her nerves get hypersensitive, and by the final run, the climax is usually stronger and more full body than a normal orgasm. It's a slow burn that pays off with massive intensity. Okay, hands are your allies here. One hand can gently spread the labia, giving better access and sensation, while the other supports her hips or lower back. This stabilizes her body and amplifies sensitivity. Yeah, it's about adding tactile connection alongside your tongue. If her body responds with small micro movements, hips tilting, knees shifting, follow those signals. Use short check-ins like, more pressure here? Or good? These subtle cues maintain comfort and pleasure. You can also use water-based lube to reduce friction, making the experience smoother and allowing longer sessions without discomfort. Yeah, this is crucial. Don't lose the rhythm. Even during the pause, stay present and connected. Light kisses, soft whispers, and gentle touch keep her body engaged and ready for the next cycle. Consistency in movement and pressure ensures that her pleasure builds rather than resets. Pay attention to breathing, subtle hip lifts, and moans. Those are your signals. Adjust tongue width, pressure, or suction gradually, always staying in sync with her body. The magic here is in fine-tuning, not rushing. Every consistent movement adds to her arousal and anticipation, making the climax that much more intense when it finally arrives. Finally, it's time for the ultimate release. After 2 or 3 cycles, stay steady with the same pattern. Her body is now primed. The rhythm, the anticipation, the compounded arousal. She'll experience deep body orgasms, sometimes with involuntary pelvic pulses and full exhalation. Keep your hands active and supportive, tongue movements consistent, and continued gentle whispers. The combination of edging, rhythm, and tactile support creates an orgasm that's long-lasting and unforgettable. Okay, this isn't just about technique. It's about attention, presence, and patience. When done right, the final release is explosive, leaving both of you fully connected, satisfied, and craving more. Okay, small details make all the difference. Refinements are what take your experience from good to extraordinary. Start with smooth hands and clean nails. You don't want to scratch or cause discomfort, so make sure you're well groomed. And don't forget your breath. Fresh breath is a must. There's nothing worse than bad breath interrupting the moment. Keep lube on hand if needed. It can make everything feel smoother, especially during extended sessions. Just make sure it's water-based if you're using it, and keep things gentle to avoid any discomfort. Adjust the position as needed, but always keep the rhythm consistent. If you need to move her hips or adjust your own posture, do it without disrupting the flow. Stay in sync with her body. Small changes can boost her pleasure and keep things flowing smoothly. Praise matters. Words can be as powerful as touch. As you're working your way through her body, use short present phrases to validate her responses and build her confidence. Say things like, "I love how you move," or "You feel incredible." These affirmations create a sense of emotional connection and let her know you're paying attention to her body's needs. You don't have to go over the top with your praise. Keep it simple and natural. Small verbal cues can have a huge impact on how she feels, making her more connected and in tune with the pleasure you're giving her. Praise boosts her arousal and makes the entire experience feel more intimate. When she's responding well, your confidence will build too. Keep her motivated and show her appreciation for every moan, every movement. That's what builds deep emotional intimacy alongside the physical connection. After she reaches the peak, don't just stop. The worst thing you can do is abandon her. Transition smoothly into aftercare. Start with gentle touches, soothing strokes along her body. Kiss her softly and hold her thighs or waist. Keep the connection gentle and comforting. This helps her relax and allows her body to unwind after the intensity. Aftercare is crucial to show you're not just about the orgasm. You care about her comfort and emotional well-being. Let her know she's safe and cherished. Offering her a glass of water can also be a nice touch. It's not just practical, it shows that you're thinking about her overall comfort. Stay with her, both physically and emotionally, to reinforce that she's valued in every sense. Okay, Aftercare isn't just physical. It's about emotional connection too. The real mastery in intimacy comes from the ability to stay present with her emotionally. After her orgasm, she may feel vulnerable, so offer comforting words, reassurance, and careful attention. The goal is to keep the connection strong even after the physical release. You don't just stop once she climaxes. You're still attuned to her needs, making her feel like she's more than just a momentary pleasure. Show that you care about her well-being by giving her the space to settle in, and keep your presence felt through light touches, soft words, and slow breathing. This is what makes her feel cherished long after the act is over. True mastery of intimacy isn't about tricks. It's about attention, rhythm, and emotional connection. Patience with her body and mind makes the experience far more meaningful. Being present and focused on her pleasure as much as yours is what creates a lasting bond. Aftercare is about reassurance, not just physical touch. It's about making sure she feels secure, safe, and emotionally satisfied. Even after she's climaxed, maintaining that connection will elevate the intimacy to a whole new level. Stay with her, show your love, and let her know she's worth it. You don't need any tricks, just the right approach to stay emotionally connected and physically present. That's the true art of being an incredible lover.